we were talking about the composition of plasma, which is a very light yellow color alkaline fluid, and this is made up of water 90 to 92%, then plasma proteins or serum proteins, which make up around 6 to 8% of the plasma. And the important plasma proteins are, first, fibrinogen and prothrombin. They are important for the clotting of blood. Second, the serum albumin. This maintains the osmotic pressure of plasma. And third, globulins. We call them as the gamma globulins or the immunoglobulins. See, IG, capital I and small g, it means immunoglobulins, and these act as antibodies which are associated with the body's defense mechanism. So this plasma is very important. Water I told, then plasma proteins, they play a very important role in the body's functions. Number 3, the composition is inorganic salts or minerals, and they make up around 1 to 2%. And what do they occur as? They occur as electrolytes like chlorides, bicarbonates and phosphates of sodium, potassium and calcium. Fourth composition, dissolved nutrients like glucose, lipids, vitamins and fatty acids, cholesterol and various amino acids that are the building blocks of proteins. Then fifth composition, hormones. Sixth, dissolved gases. Which gases? Oxygen, carbon dioxide and nitrogen. And excretory substances at number 7. What excretory substances? Ammonia, urea, uric acid, creatine and creatinine. Both are separate, children. Creatine and creatinine. And finally, enzymes that are present in the plasma. So the composition is basically 8 varied types and you have to learn it. Now let's talk about the functions of plasma. Remember children, plasma I told you is the basis of blood, which is the 55 to 60% in composition of total blood volume. Color is not red but very light pale yellow color and slightly alkaline in nature, and these are the compositions. Right, so let's talk about the functions of plasma. Number 1, transport of food. So plasma transports digested food from the absorbing site, that is small intestine, to different organs of the body. Second, removal of excretory substances, that is waste products from the tissues are removed and they are carried by the plasma, especially to the kidneys to be eliminated. Third function is the removal of carbon dioxide from the tissue, and carbon dioxide combines and is removed as carb amino hemoglobin, if you remember this word. So major portion of carbon dioxide from the tissue is removed by plasma in the form of bicarbonates, carbonic acid and carb amino hemoglobin. Fourth, transport of oxygen. Fifth, hormone distribution, right? Sixth, regulation of water balance. Then plasma supplies water to different tissues and removes the excess water during various metabolic processes. Then number 7, plasma acts as acid-base buffers and maintains the blood pH. That's why I told you the blood pH slightly alkaline is maintained by the plasma. Then 8th, immunity. Just now I told you IG, that is immunoglobulins, they act as antibodies and they neutralize the various harmful foreign substances, thus preventing various diseases. Number 9, regulation of body temperature by transporting heat, and this is to the peripheral parts of the body such as skin for dissipation or to get rid of heat. And number 10, it helps in blood clotting or coagulation. Which proteins? Just now I told you the plasma proteins, that is fibrinogen and the prothrombin. They are the specially ones that are required for the clotting of blood. Then in case of injury, they help in blood clotting and prevent the blood loss. Moving further to some technical terms before I come to the second part of our learning. Just now we had started today with the body fluids, discussed about functions of circulatory system, started with the characteristics of blood. Now we talked about the composition. One part I have just now discussed, that is what is plasma, various composition and the functions. But before I come to the corpuscles or the formed elements or the blood cells, we are going to talk about some many technical learning words. These are totally new, children. So it's important that you please write down. Number one, anemia. Anemia is a condition where we talk about decrease in RBC count due to blood loss, destruction of RBC or less formation of blood. So whatever the reason be, the decrease in RBC count is seen in anemia. Number two, polycythemia. Poly means more in number. So this is an abnormal rise in RBC count. Alright. Then third is erythrocytopenia. Erythrocytopenia, which means it's a decrease of RBC count, that is low production, which causes oxygen shortage in the blood and tissues. See, this term anemia and polycythemia, we are talking of decrease in RBC count, and here also we are talking of decrease in RBC count. But they're different because in anemia, it is decrease in RBC count and also the less amount of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin means the heme, iron containing globin or the protein found on RBC surface. If it is less, then also the person would be called anemic. But here specially this erythrocytopenia, in this condition, when RBC count goes down, right, it immediately causes oxygen shortage. And in order to overcome this shortage, kidneys, they are stimulated to secrete a hormone called erythropoietin into the blood, which stimulates bone marrow, that is a substance inside the long bones, to increase RBC production. Once again, here erythropoietin, this is a hormone, right, not normally present in our healthy bodies, but in cases where the oxygen shortage is there, then only kidneys, they are stimulated to produce this, which stimulates the bone marrow to increase RBC production, because the condition is really critical as it is affecting oxygen shortage. Alright, coming to the fourth term, hemocytometer. Hemocytometer, which means a device to count the number of RBCs. Fifth, hemolysis. Lysis means, children, to break up. So here it means breakdown of old and worn out RBCs. Then hemometer, also called as hemoglobinometer, it's a device to measure hemoglobin content of the blood. Seventh, normal hemoglobin count. We're talking of the standard numbers. If we go for a pathology blood test report, then we see the standard number. In males, in adult males, it is around 15 grams per 100 ml. In females, it is 12 plus or minus 2. That depends upon the from one person to other, one female to the other. This may be a difference of plus or minus 2 per 100 ml. Infants or the newly born, they have a hemoglobin level which is very high, that is 6.5 to 19.5 per gram ml. Alright. Coming to another word, that is serum, and this is in class 10th you have studied. Serum means plasma without the clotting factor. That is various blood samples in your class 10th book. The diagram, if I show you here, I'll just show you, alright. It will be a diagram where the fibrinogen has been removed and the remaining part will never clot, and that's what we call as serum. Then number 9 is atherosclerosis. It's a condition of deposition of cholesterol on the walls of blood vessels. So why this cholesterol? It's a fatty, waxy rich substance, and this deposits due to oily food, etc. Diapedesis. Again, this is in class 10th. The squeezing out of WBCs from capillaries into surrounding tissues, it's called diapedesis. Then thrombocytopenia. It is decrease in platelet count. Totally a new word, children. Please write with the correct spelling. Then thrombocytosis. It's just the opposite. If thrombocytopenia is the decrease, then this is the increase in platelet number. Alright. Coming next to thrombopyosis. This is formation of platelets from megakaryocytes, that is certain mother cells that are going to divide and form platelets. Then 14th term is hemopyosis, means the production of blood corpuscles, that is various type of blood cells. Erythropyosis means the formation of erythrocytes or RBCs. 16th is thrombosis, which means formation of blood clot. 17th is sphygmomanometer. Again, in class 10th you've studied, device to measure blood pressure. 18th is arteriosclerosis, which means blood vessels, they become very less elastic due to deposition of cholesterol in old age, thus increasing the blood pressure. 19th is electrocardiograph, or we call it as ECG, an instrument which is used to observe the working of heart. Alright, so this is a machine, we can say, we connect it to the body to find out the beating of heart, and this is called ECG in abbreviation. Then the same machine, what it gives on a piece of paper as the working in the form of various graph, just show you, is called electrocardiogram. Look at this. This is the electrocardiogram that we get it on a piece of paper. So cardiograph is a machine, but electrocardiogram is the graphic record of electric variations produced during a heartbeat or a cardiac cycle. Number 21, anticoagulant, also called as antithrombin. See, to coagulate means to that the blood cells, they clot together, but anticoagulant means with this present in the blood, it will not clot. So blood contains a natural anticoagulant, it's called as heparin, or it is antithrombin. Alright. 22nd term, it is pus, which means a mixture of dead WBCs. Remember, when anything attacks on our body, children, our soldiers of the body, that is WBCs, they will defend it. So pus, whenever seen, is basically dead WBCs plus the destroyed tissue cells, along with dead and living microbes. Some of them are dead, some are living, and exuded plasma, the same watery substance what makes the matrix of blood, is also exuded. So 4 things are present whenever there's a pus oozing out from our skin. 23rd term, leukopyosis, means the formation of or process of formation of WBCs. Serotonin, it's a new word, children. Serotonin, in this you have to understand that damaged platelets, they release this substance serotonin, which causes contraction of blood vessels at the site of injury and reduce blood loss. You know, blood has to be immediately checked to be oozed out unnecessarily, right, to save our lives. So damaged platelets, right, they will only release serotonin, which causes the contraction of blood vessels, right, and this reduces blood loss. So these terms I am introducing first, children, keeping in mind that by the time we revise further, you'll have to learn these terms by heart for easy understanding of further topic. Then after 24, children, 2 terms are here. I just missed, so I have added at the top. Leukemia and leukopenia. This is totally the polishing up of your class 10 topic. We have in your textbooks of class 10. Leukemia is the cancer of tissue that forms RBCs, whose number increases manifold at the cost of the leukemia is a cancer tissue of the tissue forming WBCs, the white blood cells, whose number increase manifold at the cost of RBCs. So leukocytes, they increase abnormally, therefore leukemia. The tissue that forms WBCs abnormally increases. And leukopenia is the abnormal decrease in WBCs, right? So with this leukopenia, the infection of the body will greatly increase, because WBCs, they save us from infections. So if these are less, the person will have more and more of infections. All right. Now, moving further, there's a list of abbreviation, children, and some more we'll add later whenever they come up in the lesson. Number 1 is CHD. It means coronary heart diseases, right? CAD, coronary artery diseases. BP means the blood pressure. SPP, systolic blood pressure. Systole, remember children, in class 10th you've studied, the contraction phase is called the systole. DBP, or the diastolic blood pressure. Diastole means to relax. Alright. ECG, electrocardiograph, that is the machine that determines the working of heart. SAN or SA node, either you call this as a short SAN or SA node, is called as sinoatrial node. AVN or AV node, called atrioventricular node. TLC, total leukocyte count. FSF means fiber stabilizing factor or factor 13, which is important for the formation of blood clot. So till here children, we have seen from the beginning body fluids, function of circulatory system, blood and composition of blood. We studied plasma, everything about composition. This we have not started yet. The functions of plasma you studied, and further we've studied some many technical terms which are, majority of them are totally new. So here we have the terms and their meanings, and this is the list of abbreviation that you have to learn it by heart. So just now I am stopping here. Keep revising and please update your notes children, which I am going to send you. In my next video tomorrow we will move on with the corpuscles or the blood cells. Alright, thank you.